Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Nithyanandam, sorry for the technical glitch. Coming back to the presentation we were looking at, these are chemicals which are going into your food knowingly. And very clearly, as much as I Googled and found this information, you can as well Google and get all this information online. All this information is freely available. And having all this, what is the shocking thing is having all this information out there, having all this information available to public, people are still going behind the conspiracy of the food and drug industry. Wall Street admits curing diseases is bad for business. While this proposition, the one-shot cure, carries tremendous value for patients and society, it could represent a challenge for genome medicine developers looking for sustained cash flow. So basically what they're saying is, if we give a one-shot cure, it is bad for business. One-shot cure means curing patients, means less patients means less cash flow, and it's the end of business. The way pharmaceutical industry is designed is fundamentally flawed, where the doctor is paid based on the illness of the patient. However ill the patient gets, he pays for his treatment. And it was in Hinduism, it was fundamentally completely the polar opposite. Only if a patient was healthy, only if, for example, the doctor of a village, if we can say, the doctor of a village, he would be paid only if all the villagers were healthy. That is when he would get his due, he would get his payment, or whatever in form of payment he would be, because he is sick. And so this is where Hinduism, Hindu tradition, the civilization which existed so long ago, it was a very life positive tradition where people were paid based on the health. The doctors were paid based on how healthy their patients were, whereas compared to the world which we are living in today, you get paid, when you're sick, you get paid to become healthy, not because you are. And so when your illness is the source of income for doctors and for pharmaceutical industries, how do you think that they are actually going to cure you? You are not allowed to know what is in your food. You can't sue the industry that make you fat and sick. Meat consumption is kept high to cure a problem which was already created by a pill. And so here we have a list of facts, a list of figures of how the pharmaceutical industry and the food industry go hand in hand together in keeping humanity sick and making sure they stay sick. So US citizens from knowing what is being put in their food. The DARK is full form of the DARK Act is denying Americans the right to know. DARK Act is to blow transparency around our food. It imposes a weak labeling requirement with no penalties or non-compliance, giving food companies the option to include QR codes or 1-800 numbers on packages rather than clear labeling, and thanks to loopholes in the bill, will likely leave many GMO ingredients exempt from any labeling requirement. So you can see it's a big conspiracy where even the government hand in hand, and how they are preventing humans, how preventing society from actually being healthy. So, along with myself, I have a few devotees, disciples, being a part of this panel as well. Let me go ahead and take this chance to introduce all of them, to bring all of them, and Ranosh and Edmund, thank you all for coming today and being a part of this segment. I know we have a few more devotees also joining us soon. As soon as they're connected, Shananda, you go ahead and give a brief introduction about yourself, and then we can go ahead and you can share your take onto today's segment and today's topic. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Maharaj. My name is Srinitya Ashtosananda. I was born in Montreal, Canada. I have a background in studies in mechanical engineering technology and studied as well in business and finance and teaching. And in 2014, my seeking went to the next level, looking for, it was a life-changing experience. And after that, Swamiji blessed me with the Krama Brahmacharya initiation on Guru Purnima 2014. So I've been with Swamiji and the Sangha since then. It's an amazing happening and thing to be part of the. Thank you for having me on the panel. Nithyanandam.
Yes, thank you so much, Srinitya Ashananda, for coming today and being a part of today's discussion. Ranoshan, you can go ahead next and introduce yourself for all our viewers.
Thank you, Maharaj. Nithyanandam, everyone. My name is Roshan, and I'm from Canada. I have a background in software engineering and a little bit of background in medicine as well. I got to know Swamiji around 2013, and then 2014, when Swamiji announced the Cambodia IA, is when the intensity awakened. And then from there, it's been one breakthrough after another, and I was able to, my first program was finally in Mahasadashivoham in 2017. And then since then, I've been attending the Paramashivoham sessions, the online sessions, KAILASA. So I wanted to thank you for inviting me out to today's panel discussion. Nithyanandam.
Yes, thank you so much, Ranoshan, for coming today and being a part of today's segment. Muraya, you can go ahead next and introduce yourself for all our viewers. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Maharaj. I had actually been intensely seeking. I should admit that in my case, it was my suffocation that was supposed to be in the education field, but I did not know where I was going. And it was my brother who actually introduced me to the Swamiji. Get to know many things which you did not know before. I was way too logical, rational, egoistic, I can say, to accept it immediately. I even asked, what will I? But he said, stop asking questions and you'll get your answers. And eventually that's what happened. I did get many answers. The whole world was waiting out there for me to explore. It was way beyond my logic, is what I came to realize. It was a big tight slap for what I was. And Swamiji slapped me in such a sweet way that I continue to stay with him for more than 7 or 8 years now. Many miracles have happened also, and it's really fun to be a part of those miracles. So, thank you, Swamiji, for all the clicks. Thank you, Swamiji, for all the fun. And thank you, Maharaj, now for the mic tech.
Maharaj, joining us from Adi KAILASA Birdi. Maharaj, you can go ahead and introduce yourself for all our viewers. Please go ahead.
Nithyananda. My name is Sriniteshwara Shankarananda. I'm a adolescent of Nithyananda Gurukul, and I've been a Gurukul for the past 8 years. Thank you, Maharaj, today for having me in the panel discussion on the discussing on the higher truths of the topic health.
Actually prompt Ranoshan. Ranoshan, why don't you go ahead and share your take on our current health situation, how the current health situation is, how one side the people who are feeding us are making us sick, the other side the people who are supposed to keep us safe, who are supposed to keep us healthy, not safe but keep us healthy, how they are not doing their job, how they continue just to keep us, in the living range but not at optimum health, where they give enough where we can continue our daily life, but still in where they have control over our life, where we are still dependent on them for our living. So can you explain this this situation, this scenario, how the current scenario of modern health, and how basically they're just playing on everyone's fear and greed. One side, the food industry plays on everyone's greed, pushing more and more food into them, and then the pharmaceutical industry, they play on everyone's fear of losing their body, and giving hiking up the prices so high which no one can pay them. So this is a very life. Please go ahead.
Yes. So actually, just as you said, it's right now the whole game, the whole medicinal food industry, everything, it seems like nothing more than a play of fear and greed. There's a lot of vested interest. As long as the ecosystem is organic, as long as the ecosystem is natural, and as the ecosystem is cohesive, then the whole what it's supposed to do. But somehow, some way, even see superficially in the level of food, where everything, it's literally plastic products. It's no more food. It's literally plastic food. Everything wrapped in food right now is basically plastic food. And like this, same way with the medicine. There's as soon as a vested doing what the medicine is supposed to do. The medicinal industry as a whole, the medical ecosystem is supposed to serve as a way to restore, to rejuvenate, to maintain. But right now, it's not doing that. It's actually doing the opposite in a lot of ways. Same way with the food. It's supposed to do the sustenance. It's supposed to do the maintenance. But because of now the whole thing has become very twisted. And so this is what I'm seeing is a problem now, where the whole ecosystem is now inorganic. It's very, it's no more in tune with life. The very quality of medicine is not there. Quality as in the inherent quality of what medicine is supposed to do. Medicine is supposed to rejuvenate the body for a long period of time, for a sustained amount of time. Same way with the food. It's supposed to be able to sustain the body for as long as it needs to go. But now food is made as an addictive substance. Medicine, in a lot of ways, is also now made as an addictive substance. In some ways, it's just barely doing what it's supposed to do, but now with the added vested interests, with the added layers of the fear and greed, it's become something else. It's become something inorganic. And so this is what I'm seeing is right now the issue. But how we address the solution is ultimately coming back to the organic ecosystem, the organic lifestyle, as prescribed in the Agamas. KAILASA is completely organic ecosystem. KAILASA is completely, even when it comes to brooming, we use the sticks coming from the coconut leaves. It's an organic substance. And so a lot of these sticks, we tie them together and we use those to broom. So that way it's completely contributing. So restoring back to the KAILASA ecosystem, restoring back to the ecosystem as prescribed in Agamas is ultimately, how I'm seeing is the best way we can restore the space of the organic ecosystem. So this is my take on this matter. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Ranoshan, for sharing your take on today's matter of our modern health care system. Ashtoshananda, you can go ahead next and share your take on today's topic. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Maharaj. I wanted to add and perhaps expand on one dimension, which organic ecosystem initially, but now it has, because it expands in that direction, we reach a point where nobody wants to go back. It's almost like a point of no return. It's possible to return, but nobody wants to do it. So what Swamiji is doing is amazing. The reason why I'm saying it's a point of no return, it's that you have these huge companies which have made and created, we say like you have to have organic food, right? So it's a little bit, it's in reference to the dark act that you mentioned in the introduction, the blind spot which is being exploited. And for instance, some rules are there which tell that a company does not need to put if the company has a secret thing that makes the brand, that secret component or that secret dimension of their brand, they don't need to display that in the ingredients, because then somebody will be able to copy it and steal their brand. So to protect their brand, they don't need to put it. But what they put in that secret thing, they can put anything, and it can be the most ravaging, chemical. just to give an experience to your tongue, but the moment it sits in your stomach, it literally gives you cancer. Like, it can be anything. So in that way, there's too many rules and such things that can be exploited. And these companies have mad amount of money, crazy amount of money, and they have this whole power, and all the employees, they have this by this life negative kind of setup, which is blowing out of proportion. So for me, really, I also back to an organic ecosystem, and somebody needs simpler and available to us, more and more an actual solution to the problem, because the society doesn't have a problem. Even today, when they have these, the society doesn't have a solution. Even today, if you have organic and all that, like, you don't know to what extent it means. What does it mean to be organic? Sometimes the food is organic, but it's grown on a field which was used for inorganic food for years. But they don't take that into consideration. But then that the food will not be organic if it's grown into a ground which has been inorganic. People even don't really care about it, which is very sad, because I feel that if people wanted to know, then they would push and more things would move. But I think everybody is it's kind of a dull space where everybody is kind of going in loop. So Kailasa is the way, and Veda Agamas has the solution for all of these things. It was a self-sustainable lifestyle, which was 100% dharmic. And
even the food which they are given, it helps, it puts them into that space of dullness. It keeps them in that space continuously. And so it's like, putting them to even question what is going on to them. They'll not be even aware of the happenings around them. So it's just a vicious cycle in, continuous loop, where one after the other, it just contributes into its pushing everyone fundamentally into lower consciousness. Murli, you can go ahead and share your take on today's matter. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Raj.
Yes, yeah, please go.
See, when you read your topic today, and when I listened to Ashutosha, I connected what I saw in my street clinic. Every night there is actually a whole lot of medical representatives sitting, waiting to visit her, talk to her, and all that. And I'll talk about that. What is this idea of medical representative? When some medicine is in the market already and it is going on well and it is curing people, it is helped about prescribing his or her medicine. It only shows that they want to establish their brand. Now, I used to wonder how the same problem in people. How is that? So there is some vested interest involved. That's what I thought. And when I talk about my grandfather, why I'm bringing my grandfather here is, see, he is always very particular that he will eat only a particular medicine. That is in the pharmacy. The pharmacy guy told me that this is from another company, but the same medicine, the same chemical composition. He will never trust that. So this is the way we think. I think we are exploited by these medical industry. And when they have built that trust, as Ashutosh said, after they build that trust, they can do whatever they want and they can manipulate anything, anybody, any huge population like that, and do whatever they want and force the medicine on them and keep them hooked onto it and make a lot of money. This is where I think the medical industry, this is how I think the medical industry is capitalizing on the greed of people or trust on them or whatever it is. And as for food, I will say that this food industry is capitalizing on what people love as very tasty, really delicious. They are more bothered about the taste. Like for example, KFC, I would say, KFC, I don't know, but I've been told it fills your stomach, whether it actually satisfies your hunger. I've been told this from many quarters. I also read online comments that it is satisfying your taste buds rather than filling your stomach. So this is how I think food industry is exploiting. So when these companies both together, when they come together, they can easily exploit people based on what they are addicted to, what they cannot do, what they supposedly cannot do without, and hence make a particular brand. Kailasa is the brand. It is, and what does Kailasa do for you? It intends to provide you health, and that it aims to do by giving you as your food what will keep you healthy. You don't need to consume anything separately as medicine to keep you healthy if you are in Kailasa, if you are in the Kailasa ecosystem. So in that sense, Kailasa is the best solution for the health problems that people suffer from. And that is why it needs to be flourished, it needs to be supported and sustained. So Swamiji cannot be thanked enough for what he is doing to the humanity through Kailasa from the health front. From any front, but today's topic I'm saying health front. So that's what I will say, Maharaj. Thank you
so much, Aya, for sharing your take as to the problems which we are facing in today's healthcare system. So actually, I want to take this opportunity and move into the next part of today's segment about fasting and how fasting can save you. So here we have some statistics which are presented, where scientific research has been done and which has proven that fasting directly benefits you, has multiple health benefits in fact. You can see in the slide here, fasting directly leads towards weight loss, improved markers of health, a reduced risk of chronic health conditions, and improved brain health. It helps promoting blood sugar control by reducing the insulin resistance. There was a study in 10 people with type 2 diabetes showing that short-term intermittent fasting significantly decreases blood sugar levels. We have another study here where in 50 healthy adults, it showed that intermittent fasting for 1 month significantly decreased levels of inflammatory markers. Another small study that 8 weeks of alternate day fasting reduced levels of bad LDL, which is a type of cholesterol, and problems in the blood by 25 and 32% respectively. Another case study was done in 110 obese adults, which showed that fasting for 3 weeks under medical supervision significantly decreased blood pressure as well as levels of bad. In 29 people associated fasting with a lower risk of coronary artery disease as well as a significantly lower risk of diabetes, which is a major risk factor for health. And so if you can see these studies go on, this is actually a very important fact which we all should be looking at, where fasting increases the human growth hormone. The study was done with 11 healthy adults, which show that fasting for 24 hours significantly increases level of HDH, which is the human growth hormone. Another study in 9 men found that fasting for just 2 days led to a 5-fold increase in human growth hormone production rate. So not only does fasting help in cleansing your body and protecting your body from certain amount of diseases, it also helps in towards growing you. It also helps in towards stimulating the health growth hormone in human beings. So it's quite the contrary. Only then you are healthy, only then you are grown, only then you grow. But here we have scientific studies which show that having fasting, even if it's not for continuous fasting, even for fasting just for a couple of days, or maybe 1 day and alternative days, like how the study has said, fasting helps in increasing the human growth hormone, the hormone which is directly responsible for growth in a human body. So this is actually a very interesting study here, and I'm sure telling all of us why we should fast, why we should cleanse our body completely, and how we should embrace the body eating itself, the feeling of hunger. So Ranosh, why don't you go ahead and I'm 100% sure you would have done some fasting in some point, in the past couple of 6 months or 9 months. Please go ahead and share your experience, how fasting has helped you, be it in your personal life or professional life.
Yes. So one thing I can say about fasting is, so different times. So whether it's Nirahara Samyama or right now we're doing the Pachapatni Vratam, in both cases, what I found is dropping the solid food and completely just sticking with the liquid food changes things in so many ways. I can share my first experience about fasting, then they'll think, okay, you're eating less, so it means you'll be reduced activity, you'll be more conservative with your energy and all these things. No, actually, in my experience, when you do the fasting, you have actually a surplus of energy. During that period of fasting was I've never worked out and done yoga more in my life than before that. I've never been so active for that many number of waking hours than before that. I've never been so receptive to what Swamiji was saying before that. In every way, whether it's the mental activism, physical activism, cognitive activism, in every way, the fasting gives you I can say it provides the right inner ecosystem for the health to happen. Health meaning being able to really properly receive life and be able to properly radiate life. And so this is my personal experience of the fasting, and even now with the Paratam. And again, it's the same space where you become so physically active and so, I think again, and one really strong thing that I can really share about this, you really do become more and more receptive to Swamiji's words, to what Swamiji shares in Satsangh. Every word sinks so much deeper and the experience becomes so much more clear. And one thing I can just share, one final thing I can difference. You'll really see the difference in how you behave with yourself and how you behave with the world. It gives you a kind of confidence about yourself because you realize, hey, this is actually my body. I don't have to eat by compulsion. If I decide to eat, I will eat, but it will never be compulsion. That compulsive behavior, the root compulsive behavior of food, you become liberated in every level, whether it's the food, the physical activism, you become so much more free with your energy because you have so much more energy to play with. I guess to wrap this up, I can just say everybody should at least try fasting at least one day. Start with 1 day and see how it feels. Then push yourself to 2 or even to 1.5. It's fine, but push yourself, try. You really see the impact and you really receive all the benefit. And when you give it the right fuel, it gives you the right things. It gives you the best things. It gives you the best experience. Your ability to manifest consciousness. And fasting is the best way to do this. This is one thing I can share about this.
Yes, thank you so much, Ranoshan, for your sharing on how fasting has directly helped you in your life. And so if you are a viewer and if you are having the question, how can I be a part of this fasting? How can I get this experience of the benefits of fasting? We have beautifully the Nirahara Samyama, which Swamiji has introduced back in 2012, and it is an ongoing process still where each and every month the Nirahara Samyama happens. So a little intro into the Nirahara Samyama. It means to explore and discover the different possibilities without having any. You can also swim. If a bird can fly, you can also fly. You just need to rediscover those possibilities from your biomemory, reawaken those possibilities in your biomemory. So the Nithyananda Nirahara Samyama, they have more than 110 ongoing sessions, sessions which are completed, and we still have ongoing sessions as well. More than 15,000 people till date have participated from around the world, and we have 100 and a food-free lifestyle up till this point. So we have 100 full-time Niraharis, lifetime Niraharis, and not only that, the Nirahara Samyama also has other benefits, helps in developing a strong nervous system, builds glowing, shining skin with no dehydration. You consume energy, focus, and the attention span. It also helps towards anti-aging and a disease-free body as side effects. So experience this possibility of going beyond food, of coming out of the control of society, of how the people who are giving you food are keeping you sick, and the people who are supposed to save you, to give you health, are keeping you sick as well. And so with this dynamic, Swamiji has beautifully opened up this possibility of, it is not that full time you have to be without food, but experiencing and tasting the Nirahara Samyama, having that freedom that you are not bound by food. It not only breaks the food related, not only breaks those patterns, break as well. And it's not as much as it is a physical transformation, it is a spiritual transformation as well. And so we can continue more about this in further segments. Unfortunately, we are short on time for today. So if you want to join, if you want to become a part to experience this food-free lifestyle, you can visit www.befoodfree.org. We'll have the link Niraharis. So with this, I have to conclude today's session. Thank you all so much, all our panelists, Srinitya Ashutosh Ananda, Ranoshan, Murliaya and Shivashankar Maharaj, thank you all today for coming and being a part of today's segment. So nice to have all of you not only share your input but give your experience as well as to how Swamiji has directly helped your life, how you have benefited directly from fasting, from living without food. Thank you all so much. Now with this, it's time to enter into the meditation, prepare ourselves to receive Swamiji for the Nitya Satsang. Request everyone to sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Close your eyes and bring your awareness into your Ananda. Now, start chanting the Mahavakya mantra, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, and allow the mantra to reverberate throughout the entire body. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Sama. I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, Samajis, Satsangis, Shrimahans, Mahans, Tanedar, Kotari, visitors, viewers, sitting with us all over the world through Nithyananda TV, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Enlightenment app, KAILASA TV, Hinduism Now, Twitter and two-way video conferencing, having Nayanadiksha. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I welcome all the Kayakalpa Yoga participants, Nithyananda Yogam participants, Indo University students, Nithyananda e-Gurukul students and everyone watching all over the world. We are starting the celebrations of Nithyanandeshwara Brahmotsavam. With the grace of Ganesha, we pray to Paramashiva and all the gods and goddesses
It looks like you lost another one.
Mutual fund collects money from investors and invests them on their behalf in stocks, bonds, money market instruments, and more. They are managed by professional fund managers who constantly track the markets and know when to buy or sell.
let the beautiful, blissful Nithyanandeshwara Brahmotsava begin and bring all the auspiciousness to Nithyananda and Nithyananda Sangha and blessings to the whole world. Blessings to all the devotees, disciples, Samajis, Satsangis. Now starts the real celebration. I'm so happy that, especially to see the devotees after a long time. All over the world, all the temples, ashrams, sadhinams are offering nevedyams. And Mandagapadi, blessings to all of them. Wow. Adi KAILASA is offering 108, Arunachala Sarvanya Pedam 108, Kashi Sarvanya Pedam 21, Los Angeles Sarvanya Pedam 114, San Jose Sarvanya Pedam 132, Kuala Lumpur Sarvanya Pedam 155, Toronto 52, Hyderabad 21, Houston 31, Oklahoma 35, Singapore 30, Kulim 108, Saramban 108, Vijaya Swami 7. My blessings. I accepted all the offerings. Blessings to all the ashrams, temples, centers. Listen. Today, I'll talk about the biology of this Ishvara Shakti. Ishvara Shakti is not brutal force. It is intelligent force. The biology itself is a living energy. Understand? Because the biology is living energy, the force born out of it is not brutal, it is intelligent energy. Please listen. If the force is generated not from a living mechanism, living organism, that force will be brutal. If a force is generated from a living organism, it will be absolutely for life. I'll tell you what works for life. I'll reveal the secret. Understand? Indian diaspora. Indians settled outside India is the largest number in the world. Largest number of immigrants are still from India all over the world. Even though in population China is larger than India, but diaspora, migrants, immigrants and migrants, people coming out of their country and settling all over the world, that number, still Indians are the largest. That's the first thing. Second, we are the richest ethnic minority all over the world. We are the richest ethnic minority. Not only in number, even the wealth. Why? This is a very important secret you need to understand. Why? Fundamentally, the sacred secrets of Hinduism is in our very bio-memory. understand today what I am going to share, if we can take it to the world, we can make the whole world life positive. I'll tell you the truth of what really works. What really works in life. Listen. Understand this one key. What you consciously visualize works. If you don't consciously visualize or declare, what you are always afraid of works. Listen. If you consciously don't decide or declare, what you are unconsciously always frightened about, what scares you, becomes reality. What scares you, frightens you, sends chill in your spine, that becomes reality if you don't consciously decide and declare. And the good news is, any of your conscious decision is too powerful than anything which scares you, frightens you, threatens you. Listen carefully. Even one conscious decision in you can clear away millions of unconscious fears, scariest things in your system. I am telling you, the very lifestyle of Hindus is built on conscious decision about life, on conscious planning and conscious living. In Hindu tradition, there is no small god, big god. All gods are embodiment of consciousness. There is no higher, lower. There is only oneness. Any principle you start living, consciously start manifesting, you are successful. All Hindus have the habit of this Kula Devata, Kshetra Devata. Listen carefully. I am blasting multiple statements. I want all of you to watch this satsang 3-4 times, because these multiple statements I am making, each statement has a deeper meaning, and you need to connect and see each statement I am making. I claimed we are the richest ethnic community all over the world, and I am also declaring that I am revealing why the sacred secret that we are successful. And the third statement I am making, for life, whether you decide about your relationships, your strategies for your business, your career, your strategies, policies, understandings about yourself, about everything in the life, how you calculate right, wrong, good, bad, what you perceive as a blessing, what you perceive as a curse, what you perceive as goal, what you perceive as a way, all this already infused with a lot of far life principles. I am requesting you to look in and add more and more far life principles. The trust level between you and the life is already high. I am asking you to raise it to the next level. Many times people complain me, oh, Swamiji doesn't trust me. Understand, if you feel the trust level between us is low, do something, work to raise the trust level. I have seen many people blackmailing me. Swamiji doesn't trust me. And if he doesn't trust me, I'll do whatever. It is used as a negotiation point, or a threatening point, or blackmailing point. Understand? If you feel there is no trust between us, you should do something to build the trust. Not that you will abuse the Guru. I'll tell you one small incident. In my family and friends circle, I had a nickname. I had a lot of names. And still now media is giving new names. In the name calling, there is no competition at all. I am the most named and name called Guru. No doubt. One nickname was Usar Sami. I'll tell you how that name came. Once there was a session that my mother and grandmother were convincing me to continue my spiritual practice with Kuppammal and Raghupati Yogi. They both were sitting in one small wooden sofa, Kuppammal and Raghupati Yogi, and my mother and grandmother were sitting on the floor. Some herb Raghupati Yogi gave was too bitter. Bitter means it was almost like a whole intestine was feeling bitter. And I was supposed to take that for 3 days. Every day. It was one of the great process of Kayakalpa Yoga. And just for that process, I bow down to Raghupati Yogi and Kuppammal again and again. That layer they built in my intestine took care that whatever poisoning was done to my body did not get absorbed into my system. It just got kicked out. And whatever protection they built in my system, that protected me. And that was alchemy science of Swarupa Samadhi. Actually, this science only I am trying to reproduce on all the Kayakalpa Yogam participants. But they need a preparation. A lot of preparation is required. Mentally, physically, a lot of preparation is required. They are going through that. Let them go through that. And so, I was supposed to take that kashayam, herb, and then walk the whole Tiruvannamalai hill and first day I somehow managed it. Second day they both came to the house to give that kashayam to me and then take me further. Going around the Tiruvannamalai temple, my mother and grandmother are sitting and convincing me. And I was throwing little tantrum. And some logic talk, this, that was going on. Suddenly, I picked up few items which was there around me, like a tumbler and some ties and some items, and started throwing to show that I am resisting, I am protesting. And loud screaming, these, that, all the drama I was making and throwing. My mother and grandmother both of them were a little shaken because they never saw me throwing things and all. They really thought today it's over, they will not be able to convince me or push me. But Kuppammal and Raghupati Yogi also little looking very silent and thinking what to do. But Kuppammal started laughing. I could not understand why she is laughing, and Because she was laughing, I could not control my laughter, I started laughing. The moment I started laughing, the whole thing settled down and I asked, all right, get the kashayam, I'll drink. Then I asked her, why did you laugh? When I was so angry and throwing tantrum, throwing all the things away. She made fun. Hey, நீ உசார் சாமிடா. பர அந்த பக்கம் போட்ட இந்த பக்கம் போட்ட பக்கத்திலே உட்கார்ந்திருந்தாங்க நாங்க ரெண்டு பேரும் எங்க மேல போட்டியா? Understand, listen. Actually, they were more close to me. I was throwing this side and that side, but not on them. நீ உசார் சாமிடா, போடா போடா. நீ உசார் சாமிடா. Means, she was telling, I was throwing tantrum. This side I was throwing and that side I was throwing. Never on the direction in which they are sitting. And they are more closer to me. If I am really angry, I should be throwing on them. Not this side or that side. She laughed and said, "Nee usar samida. Udra, poda, endrida. And I simply got up and drank that kashayam they gave and started walking with them to go around the hill. That's it. Understand? Even in throwing tantrum, we know there is a limit. There is a level. And then politely, all right, let's do the next. I tell you, add more and more far life principles, knowledge and intelligence to you. I'll tell you what really works in life. What you contribute alone works. See, all strategies of Krishna was successful because he was contributor. He built the great nation. He made the whole Dwarka. It's not a joke to build a nation and a Narayani Sena. The first recorded power manifesting Sena is Narayani Sena. Of course, Ramasena had many power manifestors. Hanuman and Sugriva, many power manifestors Ramasena had. But there is no record. The whole Sena was able to manifest powers. Here, whole Sena was manifesting possibilities. But we don't, maybe they would have had powers. I'm talking from the based on available records. Now, I'm not disrespecting Ramasena in any way. Based on available records, Narayani Sena, Krishna's Sena, is the largest whole Sena manifesting powers. It's not a joke to build a nation and power manifesting Sena. He always strategized for the disciples, devotees who came to him, who want to live around him. It was always for life. Understand? Even if he was strategizing for eliminating Bhishma or Drona or Karna The whole vision was for life. It was absolutely for life. He tried his best to stop the war, bring balance, completion, nullify the collective negativity. It was the minimum needed. Damage only he allowed. Otherwise, every inch of Krishna was life positive. I tell you, nothing can match life positivity. Pro-life force, Ishvara Shakti. I wanted to repeat and tell again, insist, all my disciples, devotees, followers, bring absolute love, enriching, keep enriching as a strategy to handle all crises, whether it is in the Sangha or it is in your personal life or your relationship between you and Guru. Bring only enriching, explanation, enriching, enriching, enriching. Bring extreme love. I tell you, so many reports people are sending to me. Oh, some religious leader made a statement against you, made a very abusive press meet, and their Facebook page, their organization Facebook page is abusing you, writing about you in singular and all. So many things they are bringing to me. I tell you, please understand. Bring deep love, enriching into every relationship. If you can do any help for me, go to that guru, that religious leader, whoever, with a plate full of fruits, flower, keep it at his feet, fall at his feet, explain our side story, present all the facts, enrich what we are doing, why we are attacked, educate yourself and educate them. Present all the facts, truths. They might have spoken against me because they are not completely informed about the whole thing. During this type of attacks, crisis, patience, love, enriching, life positivity, all these are needed in large quantity. Understand? Somebody even sent a message to me. Last time, when one religious leader made a wrong statement about us, some of the Sangha people filed a case on him. We should do that. No, listen, that was Paramahamsa Nithyananda's period. That's over. Now, Nithyananda Paramashivam's period. Understand? after the great pause, the responsibilities of Nithyananda Paramashivam is far more higher than the responsibilities of Paramahamsa Nithyananda. Please be informed, responsibilities of Nithyananda Paramashivam is far more higher than the responsibilities of Paramahamsa Nithyananda. So, because the responsibilities of Nithyananda Paramashivam is far more higher, strategies, reactions, response, everything has to be based on absolute love, non-violence, explanation, enriching, above all, principles of enlightenment. Understand? Responsibilities of Nithyananda Paramashivam is far more higher than the responsibilities of Paramahamsa Nithyananda. So I wanted to remind all my devotees, my disciples, followers, spend more and more time in explaining and enriching. No violence. Absolute non-violence. I am insisting. And I am not saying you should not be acting. No. I am not saying you should be withdrawing. No. I am not saying you should just cover yourself and sleep. No. I am saying be active lovingly. Somehow we always associate active and aggression as together. No. Active very lovingly, logically, explaining. Active in an enriching way, not in aggressive way, not in agitated way. Aggression is not being active. Understand? Active without aggression. Even if you have thrown tantrum, you threw this side and this side. Now it is time, settle down, be Usar Sami. Relax. Enough. You happily live your life. I will happily do my work. I am not the guy to take revenge. I am not interested in any war. I am more interested in enriching and enlightenment. Anybody wants to live their life, you happily live your life. Let me happily live my life. And I am very clear. Listen, this is the basic law of life. If somebody is threatening you, he is feeling threatened by you. That's all. That's the logic of life. If they don't feel threatened by you, they will not threaten you. So anybody threatening you, make them understand, I am not a threat to you. You carry on with your life. I am carrying on with my life. That's all. This is the statement I want to make to the whole world. Abhayam sarvabhudebhyo. I am not threat to any of you. And me or my Sangha will not be a threat to any of you. You all live your life happily. I will live my life happily. I will go on be enriching, enlightening people. You go on be doing your life, your job, you carry on. I am not threat to any one of you. My Sangha is not threat to any one of you. Abhayam sarvabhudebhyo. Understand? I am all interested in blessing, supporting. Understand? I'll be more happy in doing my job. Actually, last few days I am sitting and planning what else I can do to enrich the world, enrich people. From today I'll start blessing the devotees on their birthdays, marriage anniversary. Birthdays, it's more a blessing. Marriage anniversary, more a support. I'll start doing all my spiritual work. இந்த நேரத்திலையும் உட்கார்ந்து நக்கல் பண்ணிட்டு சிரிச்சிட்டு இருக்கிறதுக்கு நம்மளால தாண்டா முடியும். கல்கத்தாவில் கார் ஓட்டிட்டா உலகத்துல எங்க வேணா கார் ஓட்டலாம், அந்த மாதிரி டிராபிக்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அந்த மாதிரி தமிழ லாஜிக்குள்ள ஒரு விஷயத்தை புரிய வச்சு எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா உலகத்துல எந்த லாஜிக்ல வேணா நீங்க மாஸ்டர் பண்ணி எந்த லாஜிக்காரனை வேணா எந்த லாஜிக்காரங்களுக்கும் அதை புரிய வச்சு எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் பண்ணிட முடியும். அவ்வளவு ஸ்ட்ராங்கான லாஜிக். எதை வேணா புரிஞ்சுப்பாங்க, எதை வேணா மாஸ்டர் பண்ணிடுவாங்க. ஒருத்தனை திட்டுறாங்களா புகழறாங்களான்னு தெரியாமலே பேசுவானுங்க. கடைசி வரைக்கும் கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியாது. இந்த தமிழ் நியூஸ் பேப்பருங்கள சின்ன சின்னதா ஓரமா கட்டங்கட்டி போடுவாங்க. டீ கடை பெஞ்சு, நையாண்டி நைனா அப்படின்னு இந்த கார்ட்டூனுங்க மாதிரி சின்ன சின்னதா. நான் அதெல்லாம் விடாம படிப்பேன். ஏன்னா நம்மளை என்னதான் கிண்டல் பண்ணாலும் ரசிச்சு நாமளே சிரிக்க முடியும். டேய் நம்மளே கிண்டல் பண்றாங்கடா அப்படின்றத மறந்துட்டு நாமளே ரசிச்சு சிரிக்க முடியும். அப்படியே எழுதி வைப்பானுங்க. அது எப்படித்தான் எழுதுவாங்கன்னே தெரியாது. யார கிண்டல் அடிக்கிறாங்களோ அவங்களே ரசிச்சு அதை சிரிச்சு படிக்க முடியும். ஃபேஸ்புக்லயும் அப்படித்தான். இந்த மாதிரி எல்லா போஸ்டுங்க. நானே ஃபேஸ்புக் பார்க்கறத நிறுத்திட்டேன். இவங்களா செலக்ட் பண்ணி எடுத்து வந்து காமிட்டாங்கன்னா பார்க்குறேன் சிலதெல்லாம். சரி நானே ரசிச்சேன்னு சொல்லிவிட்டேன்னா அந்த எழுதுனவன் ரொம்ப என்கரேஜ் ஆயிட்டு திரும்ப எழுத ஆரம்பிச்சிருவானுங்க. அதனால சொல்லாம விட்டுறேன். ஏன்னா தொண்டை வரைக்கும் நிக்குது. ஐயோ எதை ரசிச்சேன்னு சொல்லாமலும் இருக்க முடியல, சொல்லவும் முடியல. ஏன்னா என்னை அவதூறா எழுதியிருக்காங்க. எழுதின விதம் ரொம்ப அழகா இருக்கு. அதாவது வதந்தியை கூட என்ன ருசியோடு எழுதுகிறார்கள். அப்பா, ஒருவேளை அதனால தான் முருகப்பெருமான் சொல்றாரு, தமிழால் வைதாலும் அவர்களுக்கு ஆசி உரைப்பேன்னு சொல்றாரு. ஒருவேளை அதனால தான் சொன்னாரோன்னு தெரியல. தமிழால் வைதார்க்கும் அருள் செய்வேன். அது தமிழோட அழகா இல்ல இவங்க லாஜிக்கோட அழகா? என்னையத்தான் அவதூறு பண்றாங்கன்னு நல்லா தெரியுது. ஆனா அதை படிச்சா நமக்கே ருசியா இருக்கு. அவ்வளவு லாஜிக்கா பிரசன்ட் பண்ணியிருக்காருங்க. சரி யாருன்னு சொல்ல மாட்டேன், என்னன்னு சொல்ல மாட்டேன். இப்போதைக்கு விட்டுறலாம் இதோட. அப்புறமா எல்லாம் அடங்கின பிறகு எப்போவாது இதை பத்தி 1 2 தமிழ் சத்சங்கம் வச்சு அந்த தமிழ் சத்சங்கத்துல சொல்லி விட்டுறேன். யாரோ ஒருத்தர் எழுதி இருந்தாங்க, ஒண்ணு மட்டும், நெருப்பாத்துல நீந்தி ஜெயிச்சவர்ரா நித்தி அப்படின்னு. நெருப்பு ஆறா பொங்கி அது மலையா நின்னது தாயா அண்ணாமலை. நெருப்பாத்துல நீந்தனவர் இல்லையா, நெருப்பு ஆறே இவரு தாயா. இன்னொருத்தன், நான் என்ன பண்றதுன்னே தெரியல, எது மேலேயோ சந்தேகத்தை கிரியேட் பண்ணானுங்க. முதல்ல ஒரு மனுஷனா இல்லையான்னு சந்தேகம் கிரியேட் பண்ணாங்க. 2வது கடவுளா இல்லையான்னு கிரியேட் பண்ணாங்க. 3வது ஞானியா இல்லையான்னு கிரியேட் பண்ணாங்க. 4வது அவதார புருஷனா இல்லையான்னு கிரியேட் பண்ணாங்க. அப்புறம் ஆம்பளையா பொம்பளையான்னு அதுல வேற கிரியேட் பண்ணாங்க. அப்புறம் இந்துவே இல்லையான்னு வேற கிரியேட் பண்ணாங்க. என்னென்னவெல்லாம் கிரியேட் பண்ணாங்க. அப்புறம் தமிழ்நாட்டில் இருக்காரா இல்லையான்னு கிரியேட் பண்ணாங்க. இந்தியாவில் இருக்காரா இல்லையான்னு கிரியேட் பண்ணாங்க. என்னென்னவெல்லாம் சந்தேகம் கிரியேட் பண்ணாங்க. கடைசியா ஒருத்தன் எழுதுனா, எனக்கு அதை படிச்ச உடனே எனக்கே சந்தேகம் வந்துருச்சு. கொஞ்சம் நானே ஆடித்தான் போயிட்டேன். என்ன கிரியேட் பண்ணிட்டானுங்க. நான் கடைசியில, டேய் நித்யானந்தர் போட்டாவை பாடுறா, இப்ப தினம் யூடியூப் வீடியோல சத்சங்கம் கொடுக்கறது நித்யானந்தாவே இல்லடான்ட்டானுங்க. அச்சோ, டேய் டேய் டேய், அது நித்யானந்தாவே இல்லடான்ட்டானுங்க. ஆள பாடுறா, நடை உடை பாவனை எல்லாம் பாடுறா, இது சைஸ் பாடுறா, இருந்த சைஸ் இருக்கிற சைஸ், பழைய போட்டோ இந்த போட்டோ, மூஞ்சி தாடி சடை, இது சாத்தியமே இல்லடா. இது எப்படா அந்த வயசுல இருந்தவர் இந்த வயசுக்கு இப்ப வந்திருக்க முடியும்? இது நித்யானந்தாவே இல்லடான்ட்டானுங்க. அடப்பாவிகளா, எனக்கே கொஞ்சம் சந்தேகம் வந்துருச்சு. ஐயோ, இது ஒருவேளை பாடி டபுளா? ஏண்டா இப்படி எனக்கே சந்தேகம் வர அளவுக்காடா கிரியேட் பண்ணி விடுவீங்க? நான் என்னடா பண்றது இப்போ? இத வெளியில சொல்லாமலும் இருக்க முடியல, சொல்லவும் முடியல. இத படிச்சதுல இருந்து என் தொண்டையிலேயே அடைச்சிட்டு இருக்கு. ஏண்டா? கடவுளா மனுஷனான்னு டவுட் கிரியேட் பண்ணீங்க. அப்புறம் அவதார புருஷனா இல்லையான்னு டவுட் கிரியேட் பண்ணீங்க. ஞானியா இல்லையான்னு டவுட்டை கிரியேட் பண்ணீங்க. ஆம்பளையா பொம்பளையான்னு டவுட்டை கிரியேட் பண்ணீங்க. தமிழ்நாட்டில தான் இருக்காரா இல்லையான்னு டவுட்டை கிரியேட் பண்ணீங்க. இந்தியாவில இருக்காரா இல்லையான்னு டவுட்டை கிரியேட் பண்ணீங்க. ஒருத்தன் எழுதுறான், பாரு வீரப்ப எந்த காட்டுல இருந்தாலும் சரி பண்ணாரியம்ம தீமிதிக்கு கரெக்டா வந்துடுவான், மிஸ் பண்ணவே மாட்டான். அதே மாதிரி நித்யானந்தர் எங்க வேணா இருக்கதா நீ சொல்லிக்கோ, திருவண்ணாமலை தீபத்துக்கு இங்க வந்துடுறாரு பாரு, ஓரமா ரோட்டோரமா நின்று அண்ணாமலையார் கும்பிட்டு போவாம விட மாட்டாரு. நீ ரோடெல்லாம் தேடிக்கிட்டே இரு, திருவண்ணாமலை தீபத்துக்கு வராம போக மாட்டாருன்றாங்க. ஐயோ, என்னடா பண்றது நானு? எப்படியாவது தீபத்தை பார்த்துட்டு இருந்தேன், இப்ப அதுலயும் எதையாவது பண்ண பாக்குறானுங்க. இப்ப நான் வரப்போறேன்னு சொல்லல, வரப்போறது இல்லைன்னு சொல்லல, அதெல்லாம் நான் சொல்ல போறது இல்ல. ஆனா என்னவெல்லாம் எழுதுறானுங்க. இது எல்லாம் கூட பரவாயில்ல, பஞ்சு இதுதான். அந்த பஞ்சுக்கு எனக்கே கொஞ்சம் போவேன் எவிடன்ஸுக்கு. நான் எங்கயா போவேன் எவிடன்ஸுக்கு? அத பாரு, நடை உடை பாவனை தாடி சடை உடம்பு அமைப்பு இதெல்லாத்தையும் பாரு. பேசுறது யூடியூப்ல பேசுறது, தினம் சத்சங்கத்துல பேசுறது நித்யானந்தாவே இல்ல அப்படின்ட்டாங்க. யோ 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 அது உன்ன தாயா இன்னும் என் பக்தங்க நம்பிட்டு இருக்காங்க. எனக்கே டவுட்டை கிரியேட் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. ஏய் நாம நித்யானந்தர் தானா? எம்மா ஜாதியில டவுட் கிரியேட் பண்ணாங்க, பிறந்த நாள்ல டவுட் கிரியேட் பண்ணாங்க, பிறப்புல டவுட் கிரியேட் பண்ணாங்க, ஆம்பளையா பொம்பளையான்னு டவுட் கிரியேட் பண்ணாங்க, எதையோ கிரியேட் பண்ணி கடைசியில நித்யானந்தர் இவர் தான் டவுட் கிரியேட் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. நான் என்னையா பண்றது? இது சிரிக்கிறதா? சிரிக்காம விடுறதா? இது மொத்தத்தையும் இப்ப நான் இங்கிலீஷ்ல வேற டிரான்ஸ்லேட் பண்ணணுமா? ஆல் ரைட், ஆல் த டிவோட்டீஸ். Now what I said, I really cannot translate. I only will tell one line. Somebody in the Facebook created the doubt that whether the person who is talking every day in the morning satsang is Nithyananda or not. Ayyo. See the size, shape, and he has done a lot of research. He has put all my old photographs, and he has his own theories. Some theory he developed that a person can never reverse the age, can become young like this. Even if he loses weight, he cannot become young like this. He looks so young. அது காயகல்பம்டா, நான் என்னடா பண்றது? And he looks so young. The body language, jata, beard, everything, he has his own theories. And with all this, he is creating a very strong doubt whether the person who comes every day for morning satsang is Nithyananda or not. நான் எங்க போவேன்? நான் என்ன பண்ணுவேன்? All right. He's creating a lot more doubts. All those doubts is too easy to handle. All those doubts are not like a very supported by the logic. But this one doubt, even I got little shaken. என்னடா இது? அடிமடியில கை வைக்கிறானுங்களே. Anyhow, அப்பா. Let me come. The whole vision of your life matters, not small actions. Vision should be for life. If a child is about to drink